What is going on? What is going on? It's World Series time, guys, man. The Fall Classic is here. It is real, man. And we have a superstar with us, Mr. Blake Knight, man, on national TV. Last night, man, went to the Astros game, and congratulations on your TV debut, man.
Hey, I appreciate it. I should be more excited, but as sad as I looked on TV, I am way more hungover today.
So you basically reinvested back in the Houston economy, is what you're saying, right?
We might be able to afford Correa now. Yes.
Juice has been a long time, sir, man.
Man, it has. How is everybody doing?
Man, it's as you can see, man, getting ready for baseball. But this
Yeah.
is, my baseball thing, man. I mean, I don't have a dog in this fight, man. I'm a Nationals fan, but man, I was shocked to say the least, man. Your Braves came to bat, man, from literally the first batter on. Man.
Yeah.
I want to hear you guys talk about this, man. I'm just gonna sit back and just listen.
Well, first of all, before we get started, I just want to thank Blake Knight for providing what could possibly be millions of people the perfect meme photo for like generations.
Absolutely. I enjoyed that today. Tremendously.
You're both very welcome. Everyone's welcome. I have a lot of fun seeing people do whatever with it, so it's great. Man, I want to say this about Game 1 as a whole, I guess, and I'll start here and choose jump in whenever you want. As bad as it felt just sitting through the game, watching the game, the Astros were in it, and that was the worst game they've played all postseason. We left bases loaded, left runners on.
Yeah.
So if they played that bad and we're in it, like I kind of feel good. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, look, we talked about it today, and you know, the 2 home runs the Braves hit early. If this game is played anywhere else, those are long outs. You know, that short porch, really helped us. And you know, yeah, we come out, we were aggressive early at the plate, which we have to be. I mean, my gosh, dude, look what y'all done all year long. Past 4 or 5 years. If you don't come out, if you're looking to take and looking for a walk, the Astros are going to beat the Braves going away every time. And I was glad to see some aggressiveness. We did a little lineup change tonight. You'll probably see a little bit different lineup from the Braves just because of a different pitcher. And I think that's going to help. But, look, we knew coming into the series who Houston is. And when I talked to you last night, and I was so nervous I didn't even want to watch the game. Just because, look, I've had my heart broke so many times by the Atlanta Braves. It's unreal. Last year, for instance, 3-1 in the NLCS, and we go home. We don't even make it. That's hardly unheard of. So,
yeah, there's both teams, and this actually surprised me. The Braves typically hit more home runs than the Astros do on the season. That shocked me. So I guess in terms of like what the Braves offense is, we kind of got that last night.
Yeah.
But it really wasn't the Astros. I mean, we're normally very good with runners in scoring position. Lots of guys on the team that, hit drive-in runs. And, man, like we just didn't have any timely hitting. Altuve struck out twice looking. The dude swings at pitches 8 feet out of the strike zone and took 2 right down the pipe.
You know what shocked me, though? I mean, the amount of pitchers that were pitching in the Game 1 World Series. I don't think I've ever seen so many pitchers. I mean, both Valdez and Morton only last like two innings, right?
Yeah.
Now Morton got hurt. Obviously, he got hit by a ball, broke his freaking leg. He still pitched 10 more pitches after that, which is amazing in itself. But, I think, what was it, Garcia and Minter came in after that. But, I mean, the amount of pitchers that were used in Game 1, I think it's unprecedented, man. I mean, it just goes to show. I mean, these are going to be bullpen games, I think, all the way through the series.
You're going to have to. I mean,
now, Fried's pitching tonight, man. Now, Fried's their ace, but Fried hasn't been pitching very well. So this could be a short pull.
Fried had a phenomenal, division series. And then he had that one rough game. His last start was pretty rough against the Dodgers. But other than that,
what did he last 4 innings? 4 innings?
Yeah, something like that. And it was not very much like him at all. So I look for him to bounce back. We really need him to, because if the Astros can come back and tie this series up tonight, I think you're going to see a little bit different approach from the Astros going forward, especially going to Atlanta. You're going to see them more aggressive at the plate, doing some things that maybe they would normally do.
Yeah, I want to say this about Fried. The Astros have never faced him.
Right.
So that normally is good for the pitcher. That normally helps. But I'm just interested to see, because I think the Astros they were not swinging last night, man. I mean,
no.
there was Bregman struck out twice looking.
Yeah.
Altuve struck out twice
Look,
looking.
Altuve was 0 for 5. Bregman was 0 for 4. Carlos Correa was 0 for 3. That never happens in Astros. I mean, and that will not happen tonight. That will not happen.
No. You're going to see something something to make it. Even if they're laying down bunts to move runners over, you're going to see something. Because I feel like if you're Dusty Baker, you're coming into this game saying, I do not want to go down 2-0 or 0-2 to Atlanta, going to Atlanta. You don't want to do that.
No. And let me say this. Dusty Baker, for God's sakes, take less than 2 minutes to walk yourself to the mound. I know you're 80 years old, but we've got 4.5-hour games. You got to speed it up, man. You know what I'm saying? He's taking his sweet old time to the mound. Let's go.
He was stalling. He needed his pitcher to get ready. I get it.
Yeah.
Man, last night before the game, our boy Framber just looked off, man. He skipped the ball to the plate last night.
Yeah.
Give a home run to the first guy faced. Then he hung another one on the other home run, and I could not believe Dusty left him in that long. I mean, he was shook. When he skipped that ball to the plate, I was like, pull him, dude. Just get him out.
Yeah.
I know we don't want to wreck our bullpen, but oh my God, man.
Look, you wreck them. I mean, they got 3 months to get to relax and rest. Wreck them. I mean, just throw them until their arms fall off, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
AJ Minter come in and pitched 3 innings, which is more than he's pitched all year.
Right.
Which was great. We needed somebody to get us to that 5th or 6th inning, because if we're playing a bullpen game now, Game 4 is a toss-up. You don't ever know. But I think you did burn Minter for probably tonight in the first game in Atlanta.
Maybe, man. I mean, like you said, it's the end of the year, right?
Like we talked about today, Jeremy. I mean, there's going to be at least 2. If it goes to Game 7, you have to have 2 bullpen games for the Braves to win this. And and I'm going to tell you, I mean, I think it's a toss-up. I think the Astros bullpen has a little bit of an edge over the Braves bullpen, but I mean, the way Braves have been pitching here lately, and just lights out. Look what they did in Dodgers, man. I mean, whoever thought they were going to shut down the Dodgers, man? I mean, they're just. I mean, that team, the Braves they're just rolling all cylinders, man. They're seeing the ball well. Here's another stat for the Braves. The Braves have the best mile per hour off the bat in all of the playoffs, meaning that they're seeing the ball well, they're hitting the ball out of this world. I mean, so their velocity off the bat is the tops in playoffs. I mean, they're seeing the ball well, they're hitting the ball well. I mean, Braves are just on fire. I mean, it's big Momo, man. I don't care what anybody says. Momentum in sports is a real thing. There's many people that say that's not the case. The Braves have the momentum. There's no doubt about it.
Baseball is a streaky sport, man. It is.
If
you'd have told me 5 games before the All-Star break, the Atlanta Braves will be sitting in the World Series right now, I'd have laughed in your face.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I mean, it was just they weren't clicking, and then Acuna goes down. I mean, it was just 900 things.
Their best player is not on the team right now.
Right.
Their best player is not on this team, and Rosario, is coming in. Does a fantastic job. Rosario is just on fire right now.
Batting over 500 in the NLCS. I mean,
come on,
man, unreal, unheard of. You're talking about a pressure guy. That's the guy you want. But then he comes up last night. He doesn't do so hot.
Yeah.
He strikes out, he grounds out.
Another guy hasn't done crap all season. Jock Peterson, and
Yeah.
he's batting 238, and then he's one of your superstars of the playoffs. I mean,
Yeah.
it just happens that way. It's like
it
like
does.
hockey. I mean, these guys just get on fire, man.
Yeah, it's a streaky sport.
Yeah, I mean, the Braves are hot, but like I'm not trying to take anything away from the Braves, but Astros just dumpstered the Red Sox.
Oh yeah,
in the last 2 games. So it's not like it's not. I feel like we have the 2 hottest teams in the game.
Oh yeah, you do.
Series.
Yeah.
And I think last night, the Braves just played better. I mean, they just looked like they were still playing their game, and the Astros just looked really rattled, man. I mean, it started with the pitching and.
Well, just think about this: the Astros overcame the Boston Red Sox of hitting 3 grand slams in that series.
Yeah,
I mean, they overcame that. I mean, it's just. I mean, like you're talking about, they're not going to get flustered or better. I've got the Astros winning this game. In fact, I think the over under is like 8.5. I think it goes under tonight. And then I don't see. I mean, you got Fried on the mound. I mean, you got the number 1 ace for Atlanta.
Right.
I think it's going to be like a 5-2 game going to the Stros.
The Vegas has the Braves at a 1.5 point favorite.
I just don't see it. I don't see it.
I also don't see it. But
yeah,
look, like I said, it's a streaky game, man. It's just I was really surprised to hear that number. I haven't seen a number today.
Hold on, I want to address this real quick. Clifton Allen, we are going to get you on, and I'm going to get you on one-on-one, and we're going to talk about this. LeBron being the GOAT. Are you freaking kidding me? We'll do that another night, man. But we will talk about that. You better believe it. When the NBA starts getting, by the way, Chicago Bulls are 4-0, who basically had the best, no questions asked, the best basketball player in history, Michael Jordan. How can you say LeBron's the GOAT? Carry on.
We don't have to talk about it. We all know
it's
LeBron's the GOAT.
horrible. Get out of here.
I don't even watch basketball, hardly at all. Like I'm just not a basketball guy.
But we will talk about it. Sean says Sox blew their load the first 2 games. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah,
I watched that game. I watched most of that series, and I talked to a buddy of mine. He's a huge Astros fan, lives up in Nashville, and we talked about it. And he's like, "Man, I just don't know." And I was like, "Dude, the Sox they're just smoking the ball right now." And then I was like, "They're a buzzsaw. They're just an absolute buzzsaw." And then I turn around and watch, and it's 9-2 in game 5, I think. Yeah.
So I did an article just yesterday on motionsports.com, or just download the app Motion Sports. You can read it off there. But it was basically big money taking big L's. Now, Astros are the 6th highest payroll in Major League Baseball, and the Braves were 15th. Braves beat the Dodgers, had almost $200 million payroll, wound up acquiring 2 great talents of Max Scherzer, who actually wound up being their ace throughout the playoffs, as well as Trey Turner. And to see the Braves with a significantly lower payroll, it's almost, I think it was almost $60 million lower than what the Dodgers have. When is Major League Baseball and these teams going to learn? You have the Yankees, the Red Sox, you've got, the Dodgers and the Padres, all going to learn that throwing money at talent does not bring the teams together, man. You look at like a Tampa Bay Rays, who had a tremendous year, who's got one of the lowest payrolls in baseball. You've had the Florida Marlins win 2 World Series with extremely low payroll. And then you've got, the teams like Atlanta. We had Nationals, the Washington Nationals here recently as well. And then you got the Astros. I mean, they're 6th, but they're not, look, I would tell you this. Carlos Correa will not be an Astro next year. They're not going to give the guy $500 million. That's not what they do. But they develop these teams, and they've got great farm talent, and that come up. But Major League Baseball is now a game of it's analytics, man. Let's just be honest. I mean, this is where it's turning to. And so, it's basically putting the player in the best possible situation and knowing what they can and can't do about it. And it's always been pitching. It will always be pitching. And these guys, I think you're going to see this momentum shift. I think you're going to start seeing these teams finally get to the realization that you cannot buy championships in Major League Baseball anymore.
No,
you can't.
You can't.
Baseball is really scummy is like the best way I can think of it because of arbitration.
Yeah.
So when you see
Yeah.
these teams that are you look at the roster, like let's just talk about Blue Jays right quick. Vlad Jr.
Came up through the farm
yeah.
system.
Yeah.
Came up
Right.
right through the farm system.
But so because they got him through the farm system and he's like they walked the arbitration line, they'll get Vlad Jr. for 4 years, 5 years on a rookie deal.
Yep.
And then they'll have to pay him. And they're
Yeah.
already
Juan
paying
Soto.
Springer, and they're gonna pay Biggio. And so
Oh yeah, absolutely.
like it's exactly what happened with us. Like we
Cliff
had
Allen says
Bregman,
best player in baseball. I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I do.
Who?
I agree too.
Yeah.
Vlad Jr.
Vlad Jr.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I love Vlad. I mean,
Yeah.
Vlad Jr. is great. But so same thing with the Astros. We have the 6th highest roster now because we had to pay everyone. But we had Bregman, Correa, and Springer all on rookie deals.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's time to pay the piper, man. It's what
yeah,
happened with Washington.
Yeah.
I just mean that's $800 million worth of players on.
Yeah, and 4-5 players. Yeah.
And the Braves will get the same thing.
They will. Yeah, they will.
They're going to have to pay. And
well, we just upped Acuna's. Was it Acuna? I think it was Acuna's contract. But you've got some young names like Dansby Swanson, Acuna. All those younger players that they're getting to that 4 or 5 year mark. I think is where most of them say, "Hey, I can make a lot more money."
Well, Freddie Freeman, I mean, didn't have an astronomical contract either. I mean, he was on the back end of his career. He produced in the middle of that, right? But the Braves again got fortunate. Like I think me and you talked about this earlier in the year, man. We talked about how the Braves really signed these rookie deals and they locked them in for many years. Again, there's going to be teams that are cycles that are going to have the piper being paid. That's what happened with Washington this year. They got a lot of this old talent they wanted major contracts like a Bryce Harper. You can't keep these guys, man. You can't have Bryce Harper, Juan Soto, Trey Turner, Matt Scherzer, and Steven Strasburg. You can't have those multi-hundreds millions of dollars contracts sitting on their payroll. And they're getting older every year, man. Just can't happen.
Max Scherzer, look, I hated to see the guy not pitch the last game of the Dodgers season. He was slated to start, couldn't go. As bad as I'm a fan of him. The dude he's put in the time, he's put in the work. I've always liked watching him pitch. He's a jam up pitcher for obviously. But going back to the money thing though, you're going to see, like you said, a lot of these teams do that. But I want to ask just y'all's opinion on something. Coming into next year, all right, so now you're going to get Acuna back. So now you've got Jock Peterson, Rosario. What do you do with all this talent that you're going to have to pay them or trade them? One of the two. What do you do?
I don't think you're losing anything by letting Jock Peterson go. In my opinion, I'm just not a fan
No,
of his. I'm right there with what Greg said. Jock is like you got playoff Jock, but for the rest of the 160 something games. He's
pretty terrible,
sub-average,
and he's a below-average fielder.
Yes, and so if you can hit, I like you can play in this league anywhere. They'll find you a spot.
Yeah,
they don't care how horrible you feel.
Yeah,
but he doesn't hit.
No.
He bats like 230, and then he's a liability in the field. And so I don't see the point in re-signing him if you're the Braves.
I agree. And that's why I wanted y'all's opinion on it because to me, he is the one that you do away with. You've got Duvall, you got Rosario and Acuna. To me, that's your outfield next year, in my opinion.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I don't think it's close, man. And just,
I think the Braves, though, I think they're going to have to spend their money. It's because of where they're at. And again, I mean, they're representing the NL, but they're in the NL East, and they're going to have to spend more money on their pitching, man. Because I mean, having Fried and Morton being your top two guys, you're going to need better arms than that, man.
Yeah.
You are. I mean, again, the NL East is only going to get better. As the things. I'll be honest with you. Like Atlanta took the lead early, lost the lead to the Mets. Mets were in the NL East lead forever.
For 5 or 6 games.
And then they choked it up.
Yeah.
And then, the Braves actually squeaked in. And then, hey, they did their thing. Robert Brown says, ask Blake why he looked so like someone killed his puppy because my Braves laid the smack down.
Well, I got a couple of things to address there. One, I had no idea that you were a Braves fan, but you look good on a bandwagon, Robert. So. keep it up, man. Love to see it.
Oh, that's awesome. There
yeah.
you go,
Well, dude, Blake, I want to hear just your thoughts last night. Just
talk about your
the
experience,
atmosphere going into the game,
Yeah,
because I watched and it looked crazy.
So cool. Never been to a World Series game. It was a great experience. The coolest thing for me was, like 2017. I think every person that's an Astros fan, we love Charlie Morton, and when he came out, he got a massive ovation. Everybody stood up, like just while he was warming up. Like everyone was just, Uncle Charlie, Uncle Charlie. Like, I mean, we love Charlie Morton, man. So, God, man, I hope he recovers. That was horrible to see him have to come out. No one felt good about that. But great things about World Series, man. The atmosphere, crazy, electric. Bad thing about World Series, beer prices, man. Almost $14 a beer.
Ooh.
$13.79 for a can of beer. I'm broke. I'm hurting.
Had I had been awake when you sent me that picture, I would have Venmo'd you or PayPal'd you $15 to go get a beer. But here, drink one on me, buddy.
that was
the meme is
problem,
priceless.
man. They stopped selling it in the 7th inning. Getting kind of rowdy. So, man, it was awesome. I love it, man. And what they've done with that stadium, I don't know if you've ever been to Minute Maid Park. When it used to be Enron Field before and what it is now. Like, remember we had the hill in center field? It was awful. Like, it was just a disaster of a ballpark. And when you go now, it is so nice. Feels very modern. It's not going to give you like a Wrigley Field sensation or like, if you've been to AT&T Park, like with the Giants or anything like that. But, man, it's fantastic. Like, food's great. How you get the beers, this blew my mind. They have like electronic like kiosk little boards, and you walk up and touch it, and then you pay right there, and it prints you out a ticket. And you take the tickets up, and they just dish your beers out, go back to your seats.
Wow!
So cuts down on the lines. Like, it's just first class, man. Really enjoyed it, minus the outcome, but it's an exciting game and. I'm looking forward to game 2, man. I side with Greg. I do think the Astros bounce back tonight.
Yeah,
obviously.
Here's the picture that everybody we're talking about right here, man. That's it. That's called on live TV, man. That's the TV. It just looks like. I mean, it just looks so sad.
I was like, if anybody watching is a sports fan, which I assume you are, with the team you followed since your birth. Is getting their ass beat. It's hard.
That's how you look. That's how you look.
Yeah.
Exactly. It sucks, man. There's no doubt about it, man. But
if your college team plays Georgia on any Saturday, your face is going to look like that.
Yeah.
Going back to last night's game, I told Blake, I said, man, the Astros were down 3-0, and I was like, man, the live line's plus 265. I had to throw a little Benjamin on the live line, man. I thought for sure, no doubt, the Astros were going to come back, at least tie it up, man, and see what was going to happen, man. But dude, the Braves just their bullpen just shut them freaking down, man. I mean, it was unbelievable. I was actually shocked.
Yeah,
the thing impressed me the most about the Braves pitching last night was one, when they were behind in the count, they fought back. Morton had 2 guys 3-0. He ended up getting both of them out. Didn't want either one of them. Yeah. And then just all last night, man, like if they got behind in the count, they fought back like to make it even. Like they went at them, man.
Well, did they had 12 runners left on base, right?
Yeah, they had a bases loaded like the 2nd or 3rd inning.
And then that was the thing I was going to follow up with.
They could have won the freaking game.
Yeah, Braves pitching got out of every bad situation. They were pretty much spotless. I mean, one of the runs the Astros got was a sacrifice, so they still picked up an out. I mean, they pitched great, man. Can't say anything more than that. It's fantastic.
You're going to see. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Juice. Go ahead, Juice.
I say you're going to see a lot of that same tonight. Hopefully, if Max Fried is on like Max Fried typically is, you're going to see a lot of that same stuff tonight. Maybe probably get ahead in the count and then try to get them to chase some junk outside the zone. Yeah. Houston doesn't really do that a whole lot.
No.
So I don't know, man. I kind of agree. I think Houston comes out more aggressive tonight. Obviously, I want the Braves to win, but man, I just don't see them doing it.
Well, like I said, man, you're not going to. I mean, the 4 runs that they lost were Bregman, Correa, and Altuve going 0 for what, 8? Or no, sorry, 0 for 10.
12, yeah.
I mean, you're not going to have that tonight.
No.
You're not. I mean, those guys are going to get on base. They're going to be more patient. Dude, I'll be honest with you. They were very aggressive at the plate last night. They're going to be a lot more patient at the plate. Make Fried pitch to him. Get him, get a high pitch count early. And then, dude, it's going to be come 4th, 5th innings. I think this game's going to break open.
Yeah. Well, that too. And if you watch the game, I mean, look, the balls that the Astros hit weren't little bloopers. I mean, there was some shots coming off the bat last night.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, Juice and I were texting during the game, and there was 2 balls the Astros hit that, were into the shift, but they was in the gap in the shift. And the second baseman for Atlanta he's silky on the ball, man. But he made that look routine. It was not. It was, two plays that just saved runs. So, I think the Braves.
Was it Albies? I think it's Albies, right?
Ozzy Albies.
Yeah. I was like trying to remember how they shifted over.
You can't hit
at one point they shifted the third baseman into the gap. I guess because Albie's arm isn't that strong, which I thought was strange. But
well, they've been doing that all year. For some reason, they'll leave Dansby Swanson on the left side of the infield and then put Austin Riley over behind second base, behind where the second baseman plays.
By the way, I mean, not to get off track, but I mean, the shift has got to go, man.
I hate it.
It's got to go. I mean, that's one. If there's one rule change that needs to get out of baseball, it's got to the shift, man. I'm not there to see that, man.
It blows my mind that these professional hitters literally can't just punch a ball 10 feet.
Well,
but you know what the shift
does?
The shift in baseball is equivalent of getting rid of the 3-point line in basketball. It is.
Look, I agree. I've been saying it all year. I hate the shift, but yeah, I'm with Blake. If I'm a left-handed hitter and I see everybody on the first base side, I'm just going to lay down a bunt and run like hell. I mean, why wouldn't I? I don't. It's who cares? It's a line drive in the book. It's a line in the book. It doesn't matter what it looks like coming off the bat, as long as that son of a gun's between the 2 white lines. I don't really care what it looks like.
Just hit you a little Ichiro Suzuki running, little slap it to that side, and just. Take your bag, man.
Well, I mean, they do the shift for a reason because those batters can't do that. They can't. They're pull ball hitters.
Look, these are but hold up now. I ain't gonna say they can't because these are some of the. To me, a baseball player is a better athlete than 90% of your other sports. Maybe minus hockey.
I will tell you, Bryce Harper always had the shift on, and he always hit it to right field, to right field. He would never be able to hit down the third base line.
Just square up and bunt it.
He doesn't know how to. His muscles and his arms forbid him from doing that.
I went to a game at Minute Maid Park to watch the Astros Yankees, and freaking Didi Gregorius got up there. We had the shift on, and he just choked on the bat and just, bunted it down the line, double. Because no one was there to cover it.
There's something to be said to that for science and stuff like that. But guys, I'm telling you straight up, like Schwarber, Rizzo, Harper, these bigger guys, even what's his name out of the Yankees? Starts with a G.
Judge.
No,
John Carlos Stanton.
John Carlos Stanton. Yeah. These guys cannot get themselves to slap them down, man. They just can't. And they just know how to hit big balls. They can't slap it down, man. They can't.
Yeah. It just, I guess, just what we're talking about though, like it feels ridiculous to sit here and be like, we got to get rid of the shift because we are tired of watching professional athletes who literally can't play around it.
But
they can't.
You're right.
You can't. But again, like. We're there to see the look. Let's be honest. The purity of the sport is basically our generation, and it will not continue. I mean, the kids nowadays don't watch freaking baseball; they watch basketball, right? They're basketball, football type deal. The generation, past our prime, It's just not baseball fans, and it's very apparent in ratings and such. They're just not. First of all, the sport just takes too long to play. Number one. Number two is there's just not enough action. It's just a slow sport, right? And putting the shift on, it just eliminates the fun of offense, if there is fun in offense in baseball. And I just think, I mean, if I was Manfred, thank God I'm not, because I wouldn't do half the things he'd be doing. But if I was Ray Manfred, I would not allow the shift. I just wouldn't allow it. You know?
But I feel like every time something in baseball comes up that's like crippling the offense, like we kind of get into like this same argument that we've been having since the steroid era, right? Like during the steroid era, and guys are doing these home run 60 bombs a year. We're all like following McGuire and Sosa. We're like, oh my God, the race to 60 whatever and Bonds.
It was exciting baseball. It was the most exciting time in baseball's history.
Yes.
Let's be honest.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I'm being honest.
Everybody ran home from school that day to go turn the TV on to watch
McGuire and Sosa.
Yeah, I mean,
100%.
When we played home run derby at the park with tennis balls, we're all doing the Sosa skip down the first base line anytime you hit one.
Because you got to remember, it's like Clifton said, steroids did save baseball, because remember that was after the lockout, right? And then everybody had this sour taste in their mouth. The baseball players were basically these spoiled brats wanting more money, and everybody hated and turned their back on baseball. Remember when baseball first came back, the parks were empty, and then we got the steroid era, and then they were filled to the brim, and then we obviously had 9/11 and all that stuff to take on. But man, it was exciting baseball.
But that's where I'm going. Like that's where we're at. Is like, do we want to watch fun baseball, or like are our baseball purists going to be like, it's analytics, it's shifts?
The purists have ruined baseball.
Yeah,
I'm
100%.
sick and tired of the morality of like the Hall of Famers. They're sitting there going, you can't allow these guys that use steroids in the Hall of Fame, but yet you've got multiple drug users, and like what they're doing to Pete Rose. Give me a freaking break. Give me a break. You know what I mean? Pete Rose should have been in the Hall of Fame a long time ago.
On some games, so you can't let a guy in the Hall of Fame for that, right? I mean, it's disgusting.
Give me a break.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a joke. If we only knew half the stories that have been swept under the rug and not brought in out the public, what baseball players have done, in today's world, it would have been none of these guys would be in the Hall of Fame.
I just because it's topical. Why will you not release the report about the Astros and every other team they caught using electronic signals?
Because every team did it.
I know exactly.
Yeah,
I mean, 100%.
When people were like, "Why didn't the Astros players get punished?" I was like, "Because they can't."
Yeah, because if you punish that, you can't suspend a whole league.
Yep.
No.
Yep. And once they found out Yankees and Red Sox were on that list, we got slapped on the wrist. They said, "Don't do that again. Thank you for your time."
Yeah.
Yeah.
People acting like the Astros were doing something crazy. We just pushed it the furthest that the limit could go.
Well, you did. Yeah. I mean, you're
for
God's sakes.
I didn't say we didn't cheat. I did not say that. I didn't say we didn't cheat. Yeah. What I said was we were.
You just the ones that got caught first.
Well, how is that we were the one that had the biggest bitch on the team that ran.
Okay. Okay, but how was that any different than these pitchers putting pine tar in their hats and on their necks and in their gloves? Yeah. And then you look at some of the pitchers like that have absolutely fallen off to garbage since that rule in these umpires checking their stuff.
After every inning, they go to the umpire and check it.
Garrett Cole had the worst year of his career. Yeah, I'm accusing Garrett Cole of cheating. There's no doubt about it. Spitballs and pine tar and all that stuff. Giolito from the White Sox, back when, because I think this rule came out in May or June, he had a huge run of like amazing baseball games, and as soon as they started checking these pitchers out for illegal substance, dude, Giolito sucked. I mean, sucked. Is it by accident or coincidence that this happened? Well, it's the same crap, dude. They all cheat.
And just to like further talk about like the cheating culture in baseball, I went and watched a minor league game this year in Midland. First inning, guys throwing gas. And the umpire goes, "Hey, can you come up here?" Makes the pitcher come up, maybe take his hat off. like rimmed with pine tar. Throw them out. They just like it was casual.
Yeah.
They like bring the manager over. He's like, "Hey, you guys pine tar?" He's like, oh, "Okay." Like, it's just.
I
Like,
did.
Hey, you got caught cheating. Don't.
Yeah.
I
Listen,
hope we don't catch you next time.
I absolutely put in the article, my article. The Astros cheated this year. I'm not sure how, but they definitely cheated. It will come out.
Somebody was in a bathroom
Once a
beating on
cheater,
a
always a
trash can
cheater, man.
somewhere.
The Astros absolutely cheated. I'm not sure how yet, but it will come out.
Gotcha. Okay.
It will come out. I don't know how.
Like that's what Greg does. The Nationals ship all their players. He's like, damn it. All right. Someone cheated. Like,
Yeah.
write the article.
Hey, we are the cheater beaters.
The cheater beaters.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. Alex Ovechkin makes it 1-0 Capitals. That's good. That's awesome. So, but guys, I'm looking forward to the game tonight, man. I'm really. I think the Astros do bounce back, and I mean, and Juice, I think if you're honest with yourself enough, you say, okay, I mean, look, if the Braves go out 2-0, that's a major step. I mean, it's a major step. It's a major hurdle. But I mean, even with Friedel on the mound, I mean, well, first of all, can Soler do what he did last night? I mean, Soler, not only hit a home run first freaking at bat, but then doubled in, another RBI next inning, man. I mean, dude, the guy was on fire, man.
Yeah.
I think the Braves need this game. I'm not sure with Morton getting injured that if the Astros take this and it goes long, that it doesn't become insurmountable.
It hurts us bad. Look, Charlie Morton, of course, you guys know him. I mean, he's Uncle Charlie. But
love him.
If you go to a Game 5 or a Game 6 where Charlie Morton's slated to probably start and you don't have him, now all of a sudden that game turns into, like Greg talked about earlier, a bullpen game. What does that do for us? I'm all for gas in the arms. I mean, use them when you need them. But to not have a guy that you can run out there that can give you 3 to 5 good, decent, maybe a run or two innings, then, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. So,
I hate to say that this early in the series, but I get that feeling from this game. I feel like it's must win for the Braves.
The Braves don't need it to go past Game 5. Really, they don't.
Yeah,
they don't
pretty much.
Yeah, I think the longer it is, the Astros have the advantage. I mean, again, the better team will always win out. Usually, the longer the series goes out. I mean, the talent will come. I don't think it goes 7, guys. I mean, I don't know. I do think the Astros have won what? Is it 2 World Series? 2 of them, right? They've won 1. Okay. Do you not think? Because I remember when Washington was there. Washington used Minute Maid Park like its own batting practice. Don't you think like it could be a detriment to the team having such a hitter's park in Houston? Because I mean, it seems like when it comes right down to it, Houston in the playoffs gives up a lot of runs to the other team.
Well, you got to think too that typically especially in the World Series, your Braves aren't going to play at Minute Maid Park, unless there's an interleague game. So you're not going to see a team like the Braves. You're not going to. The Braves don't see a park like that all year, unless they go to the Red Sox or unless they go to Minute Maid Park. Other than that, it's 380. So to see something like that, them guys have got to have eyes this big around when they see something like that.
Greg, I want to say this about the ballpark. That ballpark we just talked about. Baseball is boring. They want home runs. They want them. They put the short porch there for a reason. They want guys to jack the ball.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, if you grow up in Houston, you know this, but the Astros are Houston's team. It's not the Texans. It's not the Rockets. So you take your kids to Astros games, and kids want to see home runs. You want to catch home run balls.
Fair enough.
Short porch it is.
Look, I like it, but I did notice, when I was talking to you last night, I asked you about the field being so wet. Like on TV, it just looked like a mud hole. Mm-hmm. And I talked to another buddy about it today, and apparently I missed this in the pregame show, but they were talking about how the field crew was wetting the field down so bad because the pitcher was such a ground ball pitcher, they wanted to slow the ball down. And I thought, well, that makes a lot of sense, but to me, I guess just me looking at it last night, it just looked like a gigantic mud hole. But now I know why.
Enron Field is beautiful. It's Minute Maid Park now, but yeah. Oh man, I had a shot glass
And
that
run.
actually had Enron.
And
field
run.
on
Oh
it,
my God.
And my buddy broke it when he was here. I was so sad.
Enron.
It's like, how am I supposed to get one of those now?
No kidding.
But
Well, guys, we have
man,
about 20 minutes till first pitch, man. Blake, let's talk about your predictions, man. Give me a score and winner.
I got Astros 5-3. I think I kind of, Greg, going back to what you said, man. I think this stays tight early. I feel like, man, I just don't have confidence in Fried. Like, he got so roughed up by the Dodgers, and this is World Series, so I can't imagine that he's just going to be really calm in the nerve department. I think he kind of gets what Framber had last night, and I just feel like he's going to give up one early. Altuve's pretty due. Bregman's pretty due.
Yeah, y'all are all
got that short perch you're talking about, and man, as an Astros fan, maybe I'm just projecting here, but like I would just like to see them jump on him early because I mean, you saw what it did to Framber last night, man. He could not calm down.
Yeah,
they rattled him. If that first inning goes different, it's a different game. So
yeah, Juice.
I thought about this all day. If we can get 5 innings out of Fried, I think it'll be, a 4-3 one way or the other ball game. If Fried comes out before the 5th, if he gets knocked out in the 3rd, I think the Astros can run away with it pretty easily. I don't think our bullpen can do what they did 2 nights in a row. Not against a team like the Astros. I really don't. That being said, if the fans can get inside Fried's head and rattle him, I think he will come out pretty early. I kind of see the Astros getting a little bit of redemption from last night. I hate to say that, but just my honest opinion, I think the Astros get a little redemption and they win it, closer game, probably 4-3, 4-2, something like that.
Yeah, Sam agrees. Astros even it up. I think we have a sweep, man. I mean, all 4 of us are in agreements, man. I think Astros do tie it up 1-1. Again, I think it's going to be a below the number. I don't think it's going to be a high scoring game, relatively speaking. I think Astros win 5-2, below the 8 that Vegas is predicting. But guys, I mean, who knows? Like you said, it's going to be depending on these starting pitchers. Are they going to be able to last? Another thing too is, does he going to have patience throughout his starting pitching? I mean, he's a quick hook, man. He just does. He freaks out. That's one thing that Dusty, I mean, is prohibiting him from winning World Series games, is because he freaks out and he doesn't trust his staff. You know what I mean? And so he's got to trust his pitching and leave his guys in, battle through these hitters, man. Even, if you go up 1-0, 2-0, man, let these guys pitch, man, and do their thing. But Dusty just doesn't do that, man.
I don't know, man. I've got mixed feelings about that because last night I wanted him to pull Framber. I mean, he skipped the ball 4 feet in front of the plate, man. I mean, everyone in the stadium was like, dude, get him off the mound, please. Like, he's struggling. And, like, he left him out there and kept trying to, like, let him fight through it. And I was like, you're making it worse, man. They gave it the second home run, and I was like, his confidence was already shook. Just take him out and be like, hey, man, like,
it happens.
Next start, you're going to be better.
Yeah.
But leaving him out there and then him giving up another one, like, I'm worried about his next start now.
Well, look, I think both the Braves and the Astros probably put their best. Was it Orizio? Is that who it is? The reliever that came in last. Osorio. No. Orizio, something.
You're talking about the pitching.
Yeah, the pitching.
Yeah.
I think the Braves and Astros both probably burnt their best reliever last night. They both went 3 innings. So you're going to see, if the starting pitchers can come out earlier in the game, you're going to see a lot of fireworks. I think it'll go over the 8 points probably.
Yeah, man. One thing we haven't touched on, I just want to touch on it quickly. I would like to see the Astros get some runners on tonight because the Braves do not hold base runners well. And the Astros run well. And, Tucker only got on base 1 time last night. I mean, I'd like to see, Tucker, some of these guys, Altuve get on because I think the Astros getting that kind of run going, that takes Fried out of his comfort zone. That's what I'm looking for. I need to see them do that tonight. So.
Yeah.
Guys, give me one player that's going to be the impact player of your team.
Go ahead, Blake.
Man, I think Man, I want to say Bregman's due for a big game, but I think it's just Tucker, man. Tucker's playing insane. Like, I could say Brantley. You saw what Brantley did. Brantley just is a hit machine.
Yeah, that guy.
He's like, I don't feel good about that, but I think Tucker just goes off tonight, man. I'm telling you, that last stroke he had looked good. He hit the ball hard every time last night.
Yeah.
So I think Tucker's gonna mash. As we call him KFT, I'm sure you can figure out what the F stands for.
Juice?
I'm going to have to go with Freddie Freeman. I think, that guy, he's waited his whole career to be here, and I don't think he shies away from it whatsoever. So I look for him to just, he started out in LCS, kind of sucked it up, like 7 straight strikeouts, and then ever since then he's been hitting the ball pretty well. So I look for him to pick it up tonight and continue that streak going.
Blake, you know who my impact player is? I put a little cash on him as Chris Correa, and I think he goes yard tonight, man. That's what I've got, and I think he's gonna be the impact player for this game. But guys, it's coming up on top of the hour. We're gonna get ready for this game, watch a little bit. Thank you guys for joining us, man. Some good stuff, man. I mean,
enjoyed it.
Good deep conversations, and we all think that Astros take this and even it up, but we could all be wrong, man. But we'll find out.
Man, this is a weird series for me though, because of course I want the Astros to win, but God, I mean, Juice and I talked about this, dude. I pulled so hard for those Braves teams to beat those trash Yankees every year. You can't hate Maddox and Glavine, Schmaltz, but Chipper Jones, man. So I just hope it's a good game.
Yeah, it should be. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Yep. All right, boys. Good stuff. We'll see you guys later.
See you guys.
Take care. Bye.